with my little campfire by a little lake that's overflowing. I can't walk the path anymore down there. Just wanted to say hello. It's been a little while since I put a video up. I've been working a lot on myself lately, clearing different energy blocks and things from the past, and wow, learning to accept things in my life, learning to love myself, doing a lot of internal work, and I'm actually became very clear on how I want to help people and how I can help people and so on. And I had some pretty high prices before, because I've learned in business to do that. But I'm not going to do that, because I don't need all that money. So I'm going to put some options out there soon to help certain people to get different places in their life, whether it's coaching or websites or making plans or breaking bad habits or things like that. I'm going to put that up in the next couple of days probably. I got it all planned out on paper, and I'm very happy with where it's going. It feels right. I've done a lot of meditating, and I know it all sounds woo-woo, but it just feels right. I think last year, I can't remember, but it's happened a few times in my life. I've said to myself, what if I just went out and did that thing that I always dreamed of, or done what I always loved to do? What if I did that? What if I just said no to everything else in society, and I just did those things that made me happy or that I felt like doing? You know what? From my perspective, with my experience, it's the right thing to do. Anything else has led me to live in fear and worry and stress, and always focused on getting somewhere or going somewhere. But this is exactly where I want to be right now, getting some warm hands and some warm feet and sharing something to you guys. So I really appreciate you watching this. I hope that it helps make your day a bit nicer. We should have a nice day every day. And there's some things I do in my life that assures me that I have a nice day every day. And I'm going to share some of that with you. I'm not going to share exactly how, because I've got all the secrets locked up in my course that's going to come in the future, and coaching and different things like that. But if I just touch on some things, one is a rock solid morning routine. When I wake up in the morning, I just got the best routine ever. It just sets me up for the day and makes sure that no one and nothing can change, can make me unhappy in that way. And then if I do have any negative situations or something like that, any situations that I aren't happy with, maybe I'm around certain people and they give off a bad vibe or something, I really try and limit that. And I've learned why, and it's important for me to do that. But there's some tools I use to help me, and you should always look at the positive part of it. You can always choose whether to look at the positive or the negative, and you should always choose. You shouldn't use that as a coach, that word, whatever, society. I use that. You shouldn't focus on the negative, because it attracts it. You should focus on the positive. You should do what makes you happy. You should love yourself more. You should be more selfish. Selfish is a thing in the world. We're taught not to be selfish, that it's a bad thing. And in my own personal perspective and experience and understanding of things, if you're selfish, then you bring more of you to the table, and you can give better quality to to your work, to your relationships, to yourself. A lot of problems happen in the world because we say no to ourselves and yes to others. And it isn't a choice like that. We should take care of ourselves. We should also set boundaries. And by doing that, we bring more of ourselves to the table. And the whole idea is to give the best of us. And we're way more powerful than we at all think we are. We don't need to go, like, yeah, I study all the time and that, and I notice people that know more than me in the meditation area and different things like that. That's just journeys and stuff. But when we learn, we have things like intuition and connections and woo, there it come, and things like that. We can tap into different things that we already have in us to give us the answers we need. We don't need to seek those answers from the outside. And that's quite awesome to know. And when you stop going around searching for answers other places, you can learn to ask for answers and get them. You just got to learn how. And I'm starting to learn how, and it's quite exciting. Today I had a shower, and in the shower I used some Reiki, and I used some of the other more spiritual ways I'm learning more spiritual tools I'm learning, and I got some number sequences. I wrote them on the wall of the shower, so I remember. I quickly got out the shower and wrote them down because it fogged up. And my memory isn't the strongest mental faculty I have at the moment because of years of smoking weed and not using it properly. So I got these numbers and I went and researched them and looked at what it meant. And it gives me a 100% clear message of what it was, my intention was when I took the shower. I asked for a certain something, and I used some different Reiki things and the spiritual stuff to get me some answers, and I got some very clear answers. And when I went and researched that and wrote it down, used my intuition together with looking what these numbers meant, I got some very clear signs. And it's really interesting to go from being someone who's always read books and learnt stuff like that to starting to learn to use something else. And it does work. It's no joke. And the world as a society is changing. Our consciousness is lifting. So things like that become more normal. Many of you watching me here already accept that. Maybe you already do it yourself. There's also quite a lot of you here who maybe aren't at that level yet, and that's okay. We got to work through the different levels. You can't jump from one to the other, although we would love to jump from being depressed to being happy if it was possible. But you have to first work your way up the level of vibration. And it's not that it can be rushed or can't be rushed. We can do things quicker, but it takes more work. And this work that I'm talking about, it's not really that hard work. It's more accepting things for what they are. And many of us, we don't accept things because society has given us all kinds of beliefs, and we've taken them upon us as truths. And they're not all true. A lot of them are lies. A very common one is about going... There's a feather, nice. A lot of these beliefs, and it's being changed this year, especially with the knowledge broker movement. Check that out. It's with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. It's something I've always known because of how I was brought up. But I was brought up quite unconventionally, which is good. I'm happy for that. But it goes to say that to be successful in life, to have money and things like that, then you have to go and get a good job, and you have to follow the rules and do all that kind of stuff. It's bullshit. it's 100% bullshit. I last year in May I made 3 times what other people in my industry with one person. I made 3 times what anyone, what the norm is, and 3 times what I'd ever made before in that. And it's not about the money, but it was about that I proved that to myself. And I'm not someone who's gone to school. I did 10 years of homeschooling, and everything else I've got has come from online courses and reading blog posts and trying things out and looking at what the experts do and copying them for a stage or following their methods for a stage and then developing my own. And I just want to share this with you because it's interesting to talk about real stuff instead of the negativity that goes around the world that brings us down, brings the world down, hurts the world. The changes happen earlier in these years, but especially what I see, the changes happen this year where we're starting to lift things up. People are going to start waking up to all those things like the bushfires in Australia, which are caused by some people who are very negative. And it could, things like that can be prevented if we actually think and have a higher consciousness. But there's quite a lot of people out there now. I'm in some groups where there's actually 400,000 people in the group I'm in, where we're here trying to make a difference to the world. And you might think, he's just sitting in the forest, blabbing on. But I'm actually making a difference to the world because I'm getting you to think about these things. And if you think about them, you maybe go and research them, maybe go and implement some things in your life. Another feather. Nice. Then it will start raising your level of conscious. And my goal is to help 1 million people become self-employed and to love it. And I don't know exactly how that's going to happen, but the thing is, you don't have to know how things happen. You just have to have a goal to do it. And that goal has really done something to me. It's shaking things up for me like crazy, and very much for the better. But it's turned my whole reality upside down. Not in a bad way. I'm very, very, very happy for it. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I've had it the same all throughout my learning experience here this last year or so, where it started with changing my attitude, getting out of depression, getting out of being suicidal, and starting to get happy, and then starting to make some money and seeing how that worked, and then starting to go more after my passions. Yeah, so I won't bore you too long. I know you're busy, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for watching. Talk to you later. Hey.